Hello everyone. So welcome to Tuesday's lesson. This is going to be a lesson for 28th of April. And now, as yesterday you did not have any homework, so there is nothing to discuss about the homework. Hopefully the previous lesson was clear for you because most of you had done the homework perfectly. So today we'll be starting off with lesson 2, chapter 11, lesson 2, which is about explore surface area using nets, and that's going to be page 603 onwards. Okay, now first of all, before we start this lesson, we need to know what they are talking about. What does this word surface area mean? Surface area means it is the sum of areas of all the faces of the figure. Okay, now whichever, in the previous lesson we learned about all the faces. How many faces does a triangular prism have? How many faces does a cube have? We learned all these things, right? So keeping that in mind, we will, in this lesson, we will be finding out the surface area. Means surface area means it is going to be the sum of all the areas of the faces of each figure. So the tip here is we will be finding the area for each face and then adding them all up. That's what we are going to do. So again, of course, you'll be needing the formulas of area of a triangle, okay, an area of a square, an area of a rectangle. We will be needing especially these three formulas, and then we will find the area of each of the face and then we are going to add them up. Okay, now before I start the video for you, let me show you how to do this thing so that it will be a little bit clear once you watch the video. See this one. Now I'm not going to make you do all these things because they're asking to cut and fold and do all these things. Now this is a rectangular prism, right? Now why is it a rectangular prism? Because the base is a rectangle, right? See, the upper part is a rectangle, which means the down part is also going to be a rectangle. What about the faces? This is a rectangle and that side is also going to be a rectangle, and also the two sides are also going to be rectangles. So altogether we have 6 rectangles in this picture, in this figure. Right, now also they gave us the measurements. This is going to be the base of this part, okay, or the width of this part, fine, and this is going to be the height if it's needed, okay, or that's going to be this is going to be the length, and this is going to be the width. I think I told the opposite thing before. So this is going to be the length and this is going to be the width. Now what we are going to do is, first we will write down all the measurements around so that it will be clear for us as to what measurement is which part. Okay, so if this is 4, please follow the cursor, only then you will understand. If this part is 4, okay, this part is also going to be 4 centimeters, right? So let's write it down there, 4 centimeter. This is the trick you have to do when you're finding the surface areas. Okay, now if this length is 6, of course, you know, in a rectangle the opposite sides are equal. So if this side is 6, if the length is 6, this is also going to be 6. So let's write down there also 6 centimeters. Fine. Now if this length is 8, of course it will be longer than this rectangle because this is a smaller rectangle compared to this. So if this length is going to be 8, what is this measurement of this length going to be? It is also going to be 8 centimeter, correct? Now if this width is 4, what's the opposite side of the rectangle going to be? This is also going to be 4 centimeter, correct? Now with this measurements also you can find out the length of this and also the width of this. So length of this is also going to be 8 because this is 8. This is also going to be 8. This is going to be 6 because this is also is 6. Okay, now first let's find one by one the area of each of the faces. So let's start with this. How many sides does the rectangular prism have? It has 2, means 2. This side 1 and the other side 1. So we will find the area of one rectangle and then multiply it by 2. So let's start by, okay, first let's name these so that we will not get confused. Let's name this as A, okay, and this as B, and this as C. So we have two A's, one A on this side, another A on that side, two B's, one B up and one B down, and two C's, one C this side and one C onto the other side. So first let's find the area of A. What's that going to be? So this is a rectangle. So area of rectangle is length multiplied by width, right? LW. Fine. So the length is going to be 6, right? So 6 multiplied by the width is going to be 4. So 6 fours are going to be 24 square centimeter. Fine. Now I'll just remove this so that you will not get confused. For now it is 24. How did we get 24? We have multiplied this length by the width. So the area of A is 24 square centimeter. Now as I told you, there are two A's, one A on this side and another A on the other side. This is a 3D figure, right? So what we are going to do is multiply 24 two times. So that will give us 48 square centimeter. 48 centimeter square. Okay, so this is going to be the area of both the sides, this face as well as the other face. Now let's find the area of B. I know it's a bit confusing because it's the first time you're learning this, so it will take time. Okay, so this is B. So again, we have two B's, one up and one down. So the length of this is 8, right? And the width of that is going to be 6. So 6 multiplied by 8, which is going to give you 48. Now 48 is the surface area of only this. Okay, area of a rectangle B. Now as we said, we have two B's, which means you multiply it by 2, which is going to give you 96 square centimeter, because 2 multiply 48 is 96. Okay, next is area of C. Okay, now this is C, this part is C. You can take it as a face, you can take it. So we need to find the area again. So again, to find the area of this rectangle, we need the length and the width. So the length is 8 and the width is 4. So 8 multiplied by 4 is equal to 32 square centimeter square, or square centimeter. Now again, we have two C's, one on this side and one C on the other side, only that we cannot see, but we have 6 sides for the triangle. So one here, one there, one up, one down, one on this side, one on that side. Again, you multiply it by 2 because we have two C's. So again, 32 multiplied by 2 is going to give you 64 square centimeter. Now, are we done by finding the surface area? Of course not. Why? Because surface area means the whole area of all the upper parts of this figure. So to find the surface area, we are going to add all of it. Area is going to be 48 plus 96 plus 64. Okay, so how much is 48 plus 96 plus 64? That's going to be giving you 208 square centimeter. Okay, so this is how you find the surface area. Of course, your imagination is very important here, because you need to be finding, like, you have to imagine the whole picture, whole figure which they have given, to check how many sides and how many faces and all this. So your imagination plays a very important role here. Fine. Okay, so before I start doing the lesson, fine, what I want you to do is we watch the video and then we will see what we can do with the next question.
Hi, our neighbor Angela Shoppington did some shopping yesterday. She found a great gift for her father. She bought him this cool antique lamp. Angela is going to put the present in a box. Then she's going to wrap it. Check out the lamp to see the box. Angela has some wrapping paper at home, but she's not sure if she has enough. I wonder how she can figure out how much wrapping paper she needs. Maybe we can use the surface area of the box to find out. I've heard you can use nets to find the surface area of prisms like this. Let's see how it works. Let's find the surface area of a rectangular prism. This box is a rectangular prism. The surface area of a solid figure is the sum of the areas of all the faces or surfaces of the figure. Let's take a look at each of the faces. This is the front. This is the back. This is the top. This is the bottom. Here's side 1. And here's side 2. Surface area is measured in square units. We can use a net to help us find the surface area of a solid figure. This is a net for the rectangular prism. What do the grid squares on the net represent? Each side of the grid square is 1 unit. Therefore, 1 grid square represents 1 square unit. An example of a square unit could be a square inch or square centimeter. Let's count the grid squares in each face on the net. There are 25 grid squares in this face. How about in this face? There are 35 grid squares. And this one? There are 35 grid squares. Keep going. This one has 35 grid squares. We can also find the number of grid squares in a different way. Because this face forms an array, we can multiply to get the answer. Each side is 5 units long, so multiply 5 times 5. There are 25 grid squares in this face. Find the number of grid squares in this face. This face has 35 grid squares. These grid squares represent the total surface area of the prism. Now that we know the total grid squares of the 6 faces, let's add them all up to find the surface area. 25 plus 35 plus 35 plus 35 plus 25 plus 35 equals 190. Because the unit of each side is in centimeters, the surface area of this rectangular prism is 190 square centimeters. Let's find the surface area of a box using the area formula. The first step is to translate this box with its measurements to a net. Let's begin with this face. This face of the box is 2 centimeters wide and 10 centimeters high. This face is 3 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide. This face is 3 centimeters long and 10 centimeters high. What would this face look like on the net? It's the same as the rectangle on top. So it's also 3 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide. How about this face of the box? It's the same as the rectangle on this side. So it's also 2 centimeters wide and 10 centimeters high. We're almost finished with the net. Translate this face on the net. This face has the same measurements as the opposite face. So it's also 3 centimeters long and 10 centimeters high. Now, let's label the rectangles in the net from A to F. The next step is to find the area of each face of this box. The area of a rectangle is the product of length and width. The area of face A is 2 times 10, or 20 square centimeters. The area of face B is 3 times 2, or 6 square centimeters. The area of face C is 3 times 10, or 30 square centimeters. How do we find the area of face D? Face D is the same as face B, so face D is also 6 square centimeters. Find the area of face E. Face E is the same as face A, so face E is also 20 square centimeters. What's the area of face F? Face F is the same as face C, so face F is also 30 square centimeters. The last step is to add all the areas. So the surface area of the rectangular prism is 112 square centimeters.
Okay, now I have no idea how many of you were confused by it, and I have no idea how many of you understood by it. So the way which I showed you, so let's find out the answers by that without confusing ourselves more. Okay, so let's take this part. I don't want you to look at this. I just want you to look at this rectangular prism. Okay, now imagine, you have to have your imagination here. Of course, we have 2 faces, so one here and one behind, and then 2 sides, one this side and one that side, and 2 bases. So this is the top, and the bottom one will be down. That's called the bottom. Okay, now first let's write down the measurements clearly. Now, as the picture says, if this is 4, what else is going to be 4? Of course, the opposite one is also going to be 4 centimeter. Okay, now if this is 3, they give the height as 3 or the length as 3, so this part is also going to be 3 centimeter, right? Now if this side is 3 centimeter, this side is also going to be 3 centimeter, correct? Now what else we need? Okay, then if this width is 2, the corresponding, that's the opposite side of the rectangle, is also going to be 2 centimeter, correct? I hope this is clear for you. How is it going to be? If this is 4, this length is 4, this is also going to be 4. The opposite side of a rectangular prism are equal, so this is also going to be 4. If this is 3, this is also going to be 3. Also, this side is going to be 3 because this and these are opposite. And then if this down one is 2, that's the width is 2, this is also going to be 2. Okay, that's why I told you write down everything. Now they have given you something like this, okay, which I don't want you to get confused, just that they want you to count how many squares here and then write down and add all of them. But if you look at the other questions, of course they have not given you squares, so I don't want to teach you the square way because it's of no use. It's just for this one question they have given, so I want you to follow the way which I taught you. So we will name this as A, and the upper one as B, and the side one as C. So which means we have 2 A's, two B's and two C's. What do I mean by 2A, 2B, 2C? This is A and the behind one is also A. This side is C, this side is also C. This top is B and the bottom is also B, right? So let's find out starting from area of A. So what am I going to multiply? This is A. So this is rectangle A. I will multiply 4 by 3. 4 by 3 equals 12 square centimeter. Now, is that it? No, I have to multiply it by 2. Why am I multiplying by 2? Because the front face and the behind face is also there, because both of them are the same. So that's going to give you 24 square centimeter. Okay, this is going to be the area of two A's. That's the front and the behind one. Now let's find the area of B. So that's going to be, B means there are two B's again, the top and the bottom. So what is the length of B? This is 4 and the side is 3. So 4 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 8 square centimeter. Now what else are we going to do? We will multiply it by 2. Once we find the area of one rectangle, we will multiply it by 2 to get the top and the bottom one. So that's going to give you 16 square centimeter. Right? Now the next one is for area of C. So area of C, this is C. Okay, I did not write because it was coming in between here, but we know this is C. So what's the length of this rectangle? The sides, it is 2 and 3. So we will write it as 2 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 6. Now, what are we going to do again? Multiply it by 2. Why are we going to multiply by 2? Because this side is also C and the other side is also C. So 6 2s are going to be 12 square centimeter. Right? Now, are we done with the question? Of course not. We have to find the surface area, which is going to be the adding of all this. So we are going to add 24 plus 16 plus 12. How much is 24 plus 16? 24 plus 16 is 40. 40 plus 12 is going to give you 52 square centimeter. Okay, so this is going to be your answer. Now let's check if we count and write, is it going to be the same? See, what is the area of A? Means how many squares are there for A? It's 8, right? 8. How many for B? It's 6. How many for C? It is 12. You count, it's 12, or you can even multiply 4 here and 3, 12. D is again 6, right? And then E is how much again? 12. Okay, F is going to be 8. Okay, so let's add them all up and check whether the answer we are going to get is the same. So you have to adding all of this. 8 plus 6 plus 12 plus 6 plus 12 plus 8. Come on, add and say what's the answer. Quickly add them up. All the numbers. 8 plus 6 and then 14. Then 6 again. So that's going to give you how much? And then 12 again. And then 8 again. How much? Of course, you will be getting 52 square centimeters. So the way we did is much simpler, because every time they will not give us the squares. So it's impossible. We have to use this way to find out the surface area. Okay, let's do question number 2. Okay, so before we do question number 2, first let's write down the measurements. As they have given us the length, the width, and the height here. So let's write it down. So as you see, if this is 9, okay, you need to follow the cursor very carefully. If this is 9, of course, the opposite side is also going to be 9 centimeter. Okay, then if this side is 7, right, this is also going to be 7 centimeter. Why did I write 6? 7 centimeter. Fine. Now, if this width is 3 or the length is 3, if this is 3, the opposite of it is also going to be the same. So let's write it down as 3 again. Now, if this is 3, again, the opposite of that is also going to be 3. Okay. Now, let's write down the letters. So this is, let me name this as A. Let me name this as B. and this as C. Okay, so as you know, we have two A's, two B's, and two C's. So let's do it together. You also start writing. So first we will find the area of A equals. So what is the length? It is going to be 9. This is A. We are talking about this rectangle. So it's 9 by 3. So 9 multiplied 3 equals 27. Is that it? No, we have to multiply it with 2 because we have two face A's. So that's going to be 27 multiplied by 2 is going to give you 54 square centimeter. Okay, next is area of B. So what's that going to be? Where is B? This is B. So again, we have two B's, the top and the bottom. So what's the length and the width? This is 9 and this is 7. This is why I told you to write down all the measurements so that it will be easy for you. So the length of B is 9 and the width of B is 7. So that's going to be 9 multiplied by 7, which is going to give you 63. Is that it? No, you have to multiply it by 2 because top and bottom, right? So 63 multiplied by 2 is going to give you how much? 26 square centimeter. Okay, now let's move to area of C, which is going to be, the length of C is 7. Okay, this is C. So the length is 7 and the width is 3. So we are going to multiply 7 by 3, which is going to be 21, and then multiply it by 2 again. So that's going to be 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4, 42 square centimeter. Okay, now how do you find the surface area? So we are going to find out the surface area, which is going to be addition of all this. So we write up 54 plus 126 plus 42, which is going to give you how much? So 126 plus 54 will give you 180. 180 plus 42 is going to give you 222 square centimeter. Hopefully you have understood the lesson. It's easy once you write down all the measurements and you have your imagination of how the picture looks like. Once you have that, you can easily get the surface area by multiplying, finding the area of one and then multiplying it by 2 and then finally adding them all up. Okay, so quickly let's do question number 3. Okay, so again, now it is as you can see, it is 10 10 10, means all the sides are equal. Which solid figure has all equal sides? It has 6 faces but all equal sides. We drew some net for this figure. It was a cube, because cube has all equal sides because they have all square faces. So they have 6 square faces, which means all the sides are going to be the same. The length is going to be the same, the width is going to be the same for all the faces, and even the top and the bottom, even this side and that side, it's all going to be 10, because the speciality of a cube is all the measurements, all the length and the width and the height are going to be equal. So only let's, now as you know, this is the length, this is the width, so it's all going to be 10. Okay, so this side is also going to be 10, and this side is also going to be 10, this side is also going to be 10, as well as this side also. All the sides are going to be 10, so it's all a matter of 10. Okay, so let's name it. Let's name this as A and this as B. This is B and this is going to be C. Okay, so let's find the area of A. So area of A is going to be 10 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 100 square centimeter. Okay, then is that it? Do we just multiply 100 and leave it? Of course not. We have to multiply that by 2. Now the problem here is whatever you multiply, whichever way you multiply, even if you multiply for B, you're going to get 10 multiplied by 10 is 100. Even if you multiply for C, 10 multiplied by 10 is going to be 100. So however you find, because it's a square, if they are squares, all the faces are squares, they all are going to be equal. So this is for special case of cube only. When you have a cube, you can just find the area of one of the faces and then multiply it by 6. Why are we multiplying by 6? Because a cube has 6 lateral faces, 6 faces, right? So you just multiply by 6, you will be getting the answer as 600 square centimeter. Clear? I'm repeating again, this is only for the case of a cube because all of them have square faces. All the sides have square faces, and squares, you know, they all are equal, unlike rectangles. Rectangles can have different measurements. As you can see, this rectangle has a length of 9 and the width of 3, and this rectangle has a length of 7 and the width of 3, but a square does not have that. A square is all equal from all the sides. A square has all equal length. Okay, so this is the speciality of a cube. You just need to find the area of one face and then multiply it by 6. Why do we multiply it by 6? Because a cube has 6 faces, 6 lateral faces, right? So because when you multiply, even if you find the area of B, it's going to be 100. Find the area of C, 10 tens are 100. It's all the same. So rather than doing all that and then multiplying by 2 and then again adding them all up, it's of no need. It is just find the area of one of the face and then multiply by 6, which is going to give you 600 square centimeter. Okay, hopefully the lesson is easy and it will be clear for you once your imagination is very clear. Fine. So your homework for today is only going to be question number 2 and 3. Now question number 2 and 3, okay, they just want you to name these. Okay, they want you to name it such. See, like, okay, let me name it for you so that it'll be easy when you do the question. This is going to be A, B, then C, and this is D, this is going to be E, and F. Now all what they want you to do is count the squares of each A. See, like this, you have to write A is how many squares, B is how many squares, and so on, and then finally add them all up. That's what they want you to do. So I hope this is clear for you. Just write, I have already written the letters for you. You have to just say A is how many squares. So you will count. It is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So you write it as 16. Then B, how many squares, and C, how many. You will follow the same pattern. Finally, you will add them all up and write the answer in square units. But for question number 3, you will not do it that way because we don't have these squares. So you will follow the way which we did now, right before. Okay, you will name all the sides. You will write down the numbers of all the sides and name them as A, B, C, and then you will find the surface area. So to make it easy for you, quickly let me explain this to you too. Now if you see this is 7, so which is the opposite of this side? This one. So this is also going to be 7 millimeter. Okay, now if this side is 3, which is the opposite of this side? So this is also going to be 3 millimeter. Okay, now if this down one is 3, this width is 3, which is the opposite? This one. So this is also going to be 3 millimeter. Fine. So you can name this as A, you can name this as B, and this as C. Oh, I cannot write it in between. No, I can. So you will find all the area of A, that is 7 multiplied by 3, and then multiplied by 2. Then find the area of B, which is again 7 multiplied by 3, and then multiplied by 2. Then find the area of C, which is 3 multiplied by 3, and then multiplied by 2. Finally, you will add them all up. So hopefully you girls will do it correctly. So, and wait for the answers for tomorrow's video. Until I meet you tomorrow, until I meet you all in the next video. Keep yourselves safe and take care of yourself.